Come on! It's recording
Okay. Hello, it's John Heaton, and this evening we're going to try something a bit different. We're going to do a follow-up to my earlier video where I did top 15 classic Doctor Who stories, and we're going to try and pick top 10 episodes from the new Doctor Who, so from 2005 to the present. And what we've done is I've come up with a top 10, my son Richie has come up with a top 10, and my other son Tommy is not come up with a top 10, but he's going to comment as and when he sees fit. Okay, so with that we'll start it off with my top 10, which is Cold War from season 7, which features Matt Smith and is written by Mark Gatiss. Great script on the Russian submarine, and it features the long-awaited return of an Ice Warrior. And I love the script, a lot of humour in the script about the Doctor and Clara speaking Russian without realising it, etc., etc. Very claustrophobic feel to the episode, and just I love it. It's not everyone's favourite, but that's my top number 10.
Okay, my number 10 is The Impossible Planet, the Satan Pit. I really like, it's a really scary episode, first of all. It's a Tennant episode from Series 2. I like the idea of the devil being in there. It's the supporting cast is great in this one, when normally in Doctor Who you don't always get a good supporting cast. And it's just a great episode, and it's number 10.
Okay. The introduction of the Ood. Tommy, any comments on that one, or Cold War?
I mean, it's definitely a more scary Ood story, because we've had in the later Tennant stories we've had like really not scary Ood, just the sort of generic, not violent Ood, which I don't know, I don't really like.
They went away over some Tarns and became a bit sort of non-threatening.
Yeah.
But in this story, they were a little, And Cold War, you like that one?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that bit when, he takes his suit off and it's all, looks a bit, weedy. They should have had him like, sort of a bit more muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I prefer it with the helmet on.
He should have taken his mask off.
Yeah, it spoils the illusion.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, number 9, I put Rose, the first ever episode of the new Doctor, and it was just wonderful to have Doctor Who back on our screens after 9 years since the TV movie and 16 years since the TV series went off the air, and perhaps not the strongest episode if you look at it stand alone, but it was just great to have Doctor Who back on the screens, and the Autons are in it. Billie Piper is superb as Rose. Christopher Eccleston is marvellously eccentric and funny as the Doctor, and it contains great lines like when Rose says, "How come you have a northern accent?" and he says, "Lots of planets have a north," and other classic lines like that. So that's from this DVD from Series 1. That's my number 9.
Okay, my number 9 is Utopia / The Last of the Time Lords / The Sound of Drums. It's the 3-part master story from Series 3, written by Russell T Davies. Yep, 10th Doctor. Epic 3-parter, I think. It's probably the best out of Series 3. And probably, it's number 9 out of the whole series. I like John Sims' acting, and it's really good acting as the Master. Not my favourite Master, pretty much my second favourite Master, or third, after Anthony Annett, But great episode. It's my number 9.
Any comments on those two?
Not really, I mean, they're all great.
I'm not sure if it's the best from Series 3, because I think you've got another one featuring later in your top 10, Richie.
Well, okay, yeah.
Do you want to give the game away? Number 8 for me is Mummy on the Orient Express by James Mattison from Series 8. There's a slight problem with these recent Capaldi episodes. Maybe we haven't had enough time to view them in proper perspective and see just how good they are or otherwise. So maybe we should redo this video in a few years' time, but when we first watched that, it was outstanding, very tense drama, exciting, great acting from everyone, and great script from this new writer.
Okay, my number 8 is Bad Wolf: The Parting of the Ways. Ninth Doctor's final story. It's a two-parter. It's an epic final. It's emotional. It's obviously the Ninth Doctor's regeneration, and yeah, there are some bits I don't really like the robots the robots with Jack. I don't really like those. But the Daleks, they're great in it. It's probably the best Dalek story in the new series. Well, other than Dalek maybe. And yeah, it's a great exit for the Ninth Doctor. It's a short run, but yeah, great story.
I think, they had to introduce everything in the first series of Doctor Who that came out in 2005. Like, you had a new Doctor, you had a companion, you had the regeneration, so you had, pretty much the components of Doctor Who in one series, and then the next, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Great, I mean, all good choices. And by the way, just because certain episodes don't feature in one or other of our top 10 doesn't mean we don't like them. There's loads of episodes we had to leave out for obvious reasons. School Reunion featuring Sarah Jane Smith, one of my favourites, for example. Anyway, back onto my number 7. We don't have the DVD yet, it's not out. So this is the most recent two-parter, Heaven Sent and Hell Bent. Just following the departure of Clara, I could have put that episode in as well. What's it called?
Face the Raven.
Face the Raven. But anyway, brilliant acting from both Coleman and Capaldi in this episode, and great script from Moffat, and not too confusing or complicated compared to some of his other ones. So just captivating. And again, maybe we can't see how good this is, but I had the feeling when I watched it that this was a classic, and that's why I put it in my top 10.
My number 7 is Father's Day. It's a really good episode. It's from obviously It's from the Ninth Doctor. We get a really good insight to Rose's family in this one. It's really emotional. I really like the idea of travelling back in time and then seeing yourself back in time. So when the Ninth Doctor and Rose go back and they see themselves from in the past, I like that a lot. I like the monsters, and the idea of changing time is quite good in there as well, as Rose saves her father basically, and then the father sacrifices himself at the end, and yeah, it's very emotional and it's a really good story. It's my number 7.
Yeah, it's one of the more emotional ones from the series.
If you don't cry when you're watching this one, I don't think you'll cry at anything. So, what number were we on? This is my number 6, Silence in the Library, which is from this one, Series 4, featuring Donna Noble, played by Catherine Tate superbly. Great two-parter, again written by Stephen Moffat. Great cliffhanger at the end in the library, at the end of episode 1. Donna Noble has left the library, Donna Noble has been saved. And then episode 2, great scenes in the playground with the woman with the funny face, and just a brilliant two-parter. And written by Moffat, as I said, yeah.
My number 6, Human Nature, Family of Blood. I was thinking about putting this one higher, but yeah, it stayed number 6. Classic episode. It's got the Scarecrows in it, written by Paul Cornell. I think it's his second script for Doctor Who. Yeah, it's very emotional, and I really like the idea of the Doctor becoming human. It's a great concept for the episode, and the Fob Watch, the return of the Fob Watch is great. And yeah, it's just a great episode. I think Family of Blood are great in it.
Double episode.
Yeah, double
I think it
episode.
was the first with the full watch, didn't it?
No, second one, because first one. Sorry, yeah.
Any further comments?
Yeah, I think Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead had a superb cliffhanger, which we...
No, Human Nature, Family Blood.
Well, they
No,
both have
both have-
superb
oh,
Oh, you
cliffhangers.
mean,
Yeah,
okay.
with the...
Don Noble has left the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah.
That was really good. I was really pleased to see that cliffhanger in Doctor Who again. Yeah.
That's the advantage of the two-parter, isn't it?
Yeah, it
You
is.
get.
It is.
Yeah. Cliffhangers, yeah.
All right. So number 5, we're into the top 5 now, and we're going to get a bit more overlapping, as you might expect, as we get into our top 5. So number 5 for me is Blink, which is on here. And considering this episode doesn't feature the Doctor, it's surprising how high on everyone's list it is. But it's because the script is again another winner from Moffat, and it introduces the Weeping Angels, which are probably the most iconic monsters of the new series. I think we're agreed on that. Great script from Moffat and great acting from Sally Sparrow. Carey Mulligan plays Sally Sparrow. And very exciting, tense episode. Love it.
My number 5 is Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, River Song's first episode. It's written by Stephen Moffat and Russell T Davies, it says here, but yeah. I don't really like River Song in any of the other episodes, really. Like, I don't really like her character overall, but in this one she's great. And the Doctor's Diary is a great concept as well. And it's a scary episode. I like the skeletons in the astronaut suit, how they can only move in the shadows. It's great. And it's my number 5.
I think the Weeping Angels were much better in this one because they haven't been overused.
Weeping Angel?
No, we're talking about my
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so the Weeping Angels.
5.
So they haven't been overused in every single Doctor Who final since the episode, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they're much more, they're scarier.
The impact was greater, for sure. Yeah.
You didn't really know what they did or
They came out of nowhere. Yeah. Okay. So all good choices here. What are we on? My number 4 is Father's Day, which was Richie's number 7.
7, yeah.
From Series 1 again, Christopher Eccleston. Outstanding script from Paul Cornell. Very sad, this one. And really, really choking towards the end when Rose's father realises that he has to die to put things straight again. And the scene in the church and outside the church. And pretty effective monsters as well in this one. But the main thing about this one is the emotion factor. It really gets to you. And this one will go down as an all-time classic, I'm sure. That was my number 4.
My number 4 is The Day of the Doctor, the 50th anniversary. I had to have this on my top 10. The Zygons are a bit underused, but overall this story is great. And the War Doctor's a bit shoehorned in as well by Moffat, but they obviously couldn't get back Eccleston for this episode because I don't know why, he's just not really willing to come back these days or anything. So yeah, it was quite a good idea of putting in the War Doctor, I guess. Yeah. And Tom Baker's in it, and it's my favourite Doctor, so it's got to be in my top 10 for that reason alone. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay.
They could have had Paul McGann, couldn't they? I mean, instead of
They could. Yeah, they could. Yeah.
That would have been,
Yes.
I think, a better
Decision.
solution.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You're never going to get Eccleston.
No.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Okay, so now we're moving into the top 3 now, so we're getting close. My number 3 is Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, from season 1, Christopher Eccleston, and Stephen Moffat's first proper scripts for Doctor Who. And just brilliant. 2-parter set in World War II, with the iconic images of the children with the gas masks, and then the cliffhanger at the end of episode 1 when Dr. Constantine, played by Richard Wilson, his face slowly turns into a gas mask, and that is just a brilliant cliffhanger. And then at the end of episode 2 of this one, the superb line, "Everybody lives," which is Colin Baker's favourite, or one of his favourites. So that was my number 3.
My number 3 is, where is it? Okay, whatever. Blink, your number 5. It's the first episode I'd show anyone to get them into Doctor Who, even out of the classic series. So yeah, the lead in it, what's her name? I don't know.
He plays Sally Sparrow, Kerry Mulligan.
She's great in it. I really like that. It's a scary episode. It's the introduction to the Weeping Angels, obviously, and it's very Doctor-light as well. And the Doctor only appears for about 1 minute at the end of the episode. But yeah, it's still a great story. It deserves to be on my list.
Nothing to add. Just brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I've already said a few things.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what's happened to
What?
season 5. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, this is the DVD it's from. So this is my number 2, Vincent and the Doctor. Brilliant script from Richard Curtis of Blackadder fame. And okay, so the monster's a bit crap, but who cares? It's got Vincent van Gogh in it. So for this episode to feature 2 of my heroes, Vincent van Gogh and Doctor Who, it's just brilliant. And it could have been slightly rubbish if the script had been poor, but the script is brilliant, and it's a brilliant performance from Tony Curran as Vincent, and really emotionally played. And they set the whole thing, I think it was filmed in Croatia, but it's obviously meant to be set in the south of France. And then the last 5 minutes when the Doctor takes Vincent to the museum in Paris and shows him that he will be remembered, shows him the art gallery with all his pictures, and that great song from the song.
I can't remember.
It's a brilliant song playing, and the comedian Bill Nighy as the museum curator. Just a wonderful scene. Check that one out. And I had to put this one in my number 2. Slightly subjective choice, but I love it.
My number 3, Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, his number 3, so yeah, this is where you can see the episodes collide a lot. The gas mask zombies, again, great enemy for the whole episode pretty much. Set in the Second World War. Overall it's a great episode. It's the first story for Captain Jack, and he obviously appears in the final later on, so it's quite a good story for him as well. And overall it's a great episode. What are your thoughts, Tommy?
So Vincent and the Doctor. Yeah, I think I agree with the monsters a bit rubbish. They could have done something more interesting.
Didn't really need the monster at all, in my opinion. But
They could have had something coming out of the paintings or something. Just something more interesting than invisible something rather.
Yeah.
But other than that, you enjoyed the episode.
Yeah.
Right.
It was good. Yeah.
Okay, which moves on to my number 1, Human Nature, Family of Blood from season 3. Brilliant script from Paul Cornell. Brilliant concept about the Doctor being human and actually falling in love. And great acting from everyone, really. From Tennant himself, Freema Agyeman as Martha, and all of the Family of Blood as well, particularly Jeremy Baines, played by Harry Lloyd. Very sinister performance. And talk about cliffhangers. The end of episode 1 when he takes the Doctor and his lady hostage, and then he's going to kill one of them, and he says to the Doctor, he takes Martha and his lady hostage, and then he says, I'm going to kill one of them. He says to the Doctor, your friend or your lover, your choice. Brilliant cliffhanger. That's my number 1. It's just packed full of great lines, great humour, and great scarecrows, but just all round brilliance.
Okay, so my number 1 is Waters of Mars. I really had to think about putting this at number 1, but in the end I did, obviously. It's written by Russell T Davies and Phil Ford. It's definitely his best script by far, I think. I really like how the death is actually present in this episode, because a lot of Doctor Who episodes you don't get the feel that anyone could die at any moment, and here there are quite a few characters that die. The Doctor does save some people, but most people die in this episode, so I like that a lot. And obviously at the end, Tennant's acting is great. He basically goes mad that he's the last Time Lord, and yeah, it's just a great scene in the end as well. And the suicide of Lindsay Duncan, this woman, is unexpected as well at the end. So yeah, great episode. Deserves to be.
Not Lindsay Duncan's
not
suicide.
Lindsay Duncan.
The
Well,
part that she
okay,
plays.
the character,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm surprised that you didn't put Waters of Mars in your top.
Yeah.
Well, I left out a lot of good episodes from
But I
my
mean,
top 10.
especially Waters of Mars, it's such a great episode. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite-
Okay. All right. Well, this is one of the things about these lists that probably one changes one's opinion every
Yeah.
couple of years. So maybe in 5 years we'll sit down and do the same thing again. In the meantime, thank you from all of us, and see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.